Okay, my loves, I already did this live, but I'm doing it again because it did not save. So hello. I literally did this like an hour ago, but we're gonna do it again because I want to make sure that I have this saved and up on my IGTV for all of you guys. So what I'm literally gonna talk about the same thing. So if you were on it before, you don't have to be on it again unless you would like to be. But last week I released my free ebook. I released my free ebook a few weeks ago about how to create your first 4 pieces of content and build your community up to 100 people in the next 30 days. For anybody interested in the online space, in content creation, or building an online community, or feeling called to talk about something and not knowing how to get your message out there. I created a free ebook a couple weeks ago, walking you through my whole process, start to finish. So yeah, I've been doing a series on here. This is my second video of the series. Last week's was all about discovering your why and why that's so important. And this week's going to be all about how to get clear on who you're serving, and get clear on who your ideal client is, who your ideal client is and how you serve them. Because that's really important. And I think, so many people, when you first, this was something that I struggled with in the beginning, was I was like, well, I just want to work with everybody because I want, I'm brand new to this and I just want people that want to work with me. And I was very general and very broad about who I served. And that really created a lot more work for me than needed. So when we're trying to help everyone, we're not really helping anyone. I just want you to keep that in mind. So just a couple tips for you around this. First and foremost, if you're okay, what does that even mean? How do I decide who I want to serve or how I want to serve them? Or if you're I have no idea, I don't even know what my business structure looks like, but I just feel called to the online space. The first thing that I want you to do, hello Mary, how are you? Hello Sarah. Look at this. I'm glad I went live again because I wasn't going to, but I'm glad I did. Let's see. Hello. Okay. So like I was saying, this live is all about how to get clear on who you serve and how you serve them. The first live that I did not save, so I'm very grateful that I redid it. You guys can let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling, and everything like that. But yeah, so anyway, if you are in the very beginning stages of building an online business or starting, maybe you've had this business idea for a while, but you just haven't really brought it into fruition, or you're in some sort of online, if you're in some sort of business venture, but you have yet to really dabble in the social media or those sorts of things, this is going to be really helpful. So the first thing that I want you to ask yourself is, especially if you're first starting out, let me see. I was in the grocery store, so I'm glad you did too. Good, divine timing. Feeling much better after getting all my spiritual things today. I love it. It's so, I know when you sent me that picture, I was like, ooh, you make me want to go spend all my money on on a new deck and some new crystals and all that stuff. So, good. I'm glad you guys are having a good day. So my first thing though, in terms of, figuring out who it is you want to serve, or getting clear on how to, not even getting clear on who you want to serve, but manifesting the right kinds of people into your community or into your business, is so important, because like I said, when we're trying to help everyone, we do not help anyone. And I want you to remember that, because when you're trying to serve everybody, you have to do so much work than if this is the vibe of my ideal client, this is the vibe of the kind of people that I want to work with, this is who they are, and this is what, this is how I serve them. So starting with your ideal, and getting a little bit more specific, asking yourself, who is your ideal client, or who is your ideal audience member? For me, my ideal clients are women. The ideal people in my community are women, right? Of course, I like to talk about the things that I talk about with men, but I think the more intuitive, divinely guided stuff is very tailored, much more tailored towards women, and lands a lot better with women, right? So getting clear on who is it that you want to serve. Do you want to serve business owners? Do you want to serve women? Do you want to serve men? Do you want to serve somebody in a specific niche? If you were a copywriter, for example, with Sarah, is it somebody in a specific niche of a business that you want to serve, a specific genre of a business. So getting clear, like really clear on what that looks like. So for me, like I want to help women who are feeling burnt out in their jobs, who are feeling unfulfilled by the work that they're doing, and are just like longing for more, right? So getting clear on, and you guys can tell me this in the comments too if you want, both on this, and this is also going to be it'll be uploaded onto IGTV, but let me know, like, who is your ideal client? Who is your ideal audience member? So get clear on that, like who that person is, right? And then from there on, ask yourself, so you can tell me that very briefly and generally if you want. So, my ideal client / audience member is blank, or you can just send me like the one word. So like women, people in like the environmental business, the wildlife conservation business, just throwing that out there, for Sarah, but like, who is it that you're serving, right? So get really clear and specific on that, because if you don't know who you're serving, and you don't know who your ideal client or audience member is, those people aren't going to know that you're the right person for them. I can guarantee you that right off the bat. So getting clear on who they are, and then from there, getting clear on what are their goals and what are they struggling with? Like those are two really important questions to ask. So like for me, and just to give you an example, for me, my ideal client or audience member struggles with anxiety, struggles with stress, struggles with overwhelm, struggles with self-doubt, struggles with, just this feeling that like, they know that they want something more, but they don't know what that looks like. They lack clarity. And they don't feel supported in that. They don't feel supported by the people around them. That's why I want to harbor this safe community for them to grow and learn in, right? So those are some of the things that they're struggling with. So making a list, and I would literally, like, if you're on this live when we get off, like make a list of these things. Or if you're watching the replay, you can always pause me and you can write down your answers. But like, who is your ideal client? What are their goals? And what are they struggling with? So again, with goals for my ideal client's goals are to be really in tune with their intuition, to be living out their life's purpose, to be following their gut, to be following the things that light them up, and really to just let themselves be divinely guided moving forward, rather than just letting their ego run the show, right? So their goals are traveling multiple times a year, living wherever they want, having time and financial freedom in their job, that whether that's their own business or another business that feels really good to them. And, having a beautiful home, spending time with their family, not having to work weekends or holidays at their job because they, have the time and financial freedom from what they've built or the career that they've manifested. And other goals, like they want to take really good care of their bodies. They want to take really good care of themselves, like mind, body, and soul. So you see how it's like you can really paint the picture, right, of this person. So like, who are they? What are their goals? What are they struggling with? I hope that this is making sense. Please let me know. Wildlife, oh God, I'm gonna have to turn my head to the side to read this. Wildlife and environmental conservation, who want to educate the public. I like literally can't read it because I'm like leaning, I'm sorry. Who want to educate the public and bring nature and people together to create a greater appreciation and sense of protection and respect for our planet. I love that. So that's who you serve, right? And then they struggle with standing out in the crowd, getting people engaged, creating the link between people and the world around them. I love that. So yeah, the more specific you can be on this, the better, right? Who is it you're serving? What are their goals? What are they struggling with? And then adding on to this, let's see, anyone that appreciates old vintage items that have incredible stories and feel their own journey. Love it. Yeah, so even like getting more specific on that, Mary, and like this is what, disclaimer, I'm gonna launch a group coaching program in October to really like work through these things in like a group setting. So I'm so excited for it, and it's something that we could do like coaching calls around. But like just for the sake of this and just to kind of pick your brain a little bit, like getting really, really clear. Like, do you want to work with men? Do you want to work with women? Do you want to work with families? Do you want to work with, like for me, I want to help women who are between the ages of like 21 and 40 or 21 and 50. Like I have a very specific idea of who that person is, right? let's see. Yeah, so like, I don't know, like getting really specific on that, Mary, and asking yourself like, do I want to serve women, or do I want to serve men, or do I want to serve families, or do I want to serve couples, or like get really, really specific, because again, I know it seems a lot more limiting to pick this one thing and like niche down, right? But it's like you're opening so much potential for yourself and for your business when you know like this is the person I'm serving. Like get really, really clear on that. Because when you're clear on it and someone else comes across you because you've manifested them into your collective, into your community, they're listening to your podcast, they're on your social media, like they know that your work and what you're selling is for them, right? Because it's like specific. So get clear on that. And then like same thing, that appreciate old vintage items, that have incredible stories and feel their own joy. Right. So like, yeah. So just like asking yourself, and Sarah, you can do the same thing, or anybody watching this replay, like ask yourself from looking at what you've just sent me, like, or what you've just commented, like, how can I be more specific? Okay. Like just asking yourself that, how can I get more and more specific? And when you don't think you can get any more specific, ask yourself that question again. Because again, when we're trying to serve everyone, we're not serving anyone. Like I literally made that mistake for the first like year and a half of my business. And it's just crazy, right? Like, it's just crazy because we create all this work and we're like, well, I have to do this for this person and this for this person and this for this person, when you could just like make it so much simpler and like just have this game plan for your business, right? So those are my things around who we're serving and why it's so important to get clear on them. And this is something else, another side piece that I just want to introduce to you before I hop off. But is this like, yes, we know who we're serving, what their goals are, what they're struggling with. But I also want you to ask yourself, like, who are the people, and I know Sarah and I have done this, who are the people that you love to follow on social media, right? So make a list of all of the people that when they post or when they upload a video or when they, upload a new podcast episode, that you're like, I cannot wait to listen, or I cannot wait to watch, or I cannot wait to read that. Like you're like, I just have to get my hands on everything that they're creating, right? Make a list of those accounts. So like for me, Erin May Henry is huge for me because she and again, I'll introduce this. So make a list of all the people that you love to follow, right? That you follow for a specific reason. So make that list, or you can comment it to me. Either way is fine. So make a list of those people. And then from there, ask yourself, why is it that you love to follow them? Like what do they give you, or why do you follow them specifically? Like, what do they talk about? What are the things that they talk about that you're really interested in hearing about? Like, what are the specific reasons why you follow them? So for me, like, I love to follow Elevate the Globe because I know, and you guys both have been a part of their community. I like to follow Elevate the Globe because they're teaching me more about spirituality, more about astrology, more about following my intuition, more about divine guidance, more about, just like the more magical side of life and living a more natural life and simplifying and trusting the universe and knowing that I'm always guided and like all those beautiful things, right? So like that's why I follow them. Erin May Henry, my one of my business mentors, right? I follow her because she's motivational, she's inspiring, she's always reaching for big goals. I like that she doesn't work all the time. Like she works and then she shows the other side of her life where she's like going to Muay Thai classes and, doing like her workouts and having like playing guitar and doing things that aren't work, right? Like I love that she makes me really inspired to start reaching for bigger goals in my life. Natalia Benson, same thing, spiritual guidance, astrology, money mindset things. Like so getting clear on like, again, just asking yourself, like, who do I really like to follow on social media? Like maybe pick your top 5. Who do I really like to follow? Why do I like to follow them? Make a list of those things. And then from there, and again, this is just food for thought, but then from there, ask yourself, how can you start to embody more of those energies that you love in them? Because think about it, if you're in this community of somebody else's Instagram or YouTube or podcast or Facebook or wherever you're following them, if you're in their community and you're interested in the things that they're sharing, think about how many people are in their community that are interested in them for the same reasons, right? So for me, let's see. This is so good. Thanks, Sid. You're so welcome. I know it's really exciting to like start really narrowing down on this stuff for you guys. It's like coaching just like all the time. But like really like thinking about the people in Rachel Hollis's community, or, you know, Jenna Kutcher's community, or like these big names that we know, Tony Robbins, like people, and asking yourself, like, why is it that you follow them? So making a list of all those reasons. The people in their community, like millions of people that follow them, are interested in them for probably the same reasons that you are. So imagine who you could manifest into your collective, into your community, into your space, into your business, if you started embodying these traits that you love in these people. Does that make sense? So like, if for me, like, I love following, you know, like I said, Erin May Henry because she's motivational, Elevate the Globe because they're very spiritual and they inspire me to keep up with my daily practice. And, you know, like how, and it's asking yourself two questions. One, how can I start embodying more of these traits in my life in general? Because if you're embodying these traits from like the inside out, you're therefore going to manifest those sorts of people who are into those things into your reality. And like I always say, our external reality is a direct reflection of our internal state, but also like, how can you start embodying and showing up as that version of you online and start bringing those characteristics to your Instagram or your YouTube or your podcast or your blog or wherever it is that you're showing up, right? So those are my questions for you, right? Those are just some things that I want you to start thinking about when it comes to content creation, is like, who am I serving? How am I serving them? What are they struggling with? What are their goals? And then like, who do I really love to follow? Why do I really love to follow them? And how can I start embodying those energies in my own life and on my own platforms? Let me know how that lands. That's like literally the whole process of how I have called each and every single one of you guys into my community, is what I just explained. And it's this short, you know, less than 20-minute video is a lot more simple than like the 2 years it's taken for me to learn this. But I still think it's just as powerful to talk about. So let me know how that lands. If you guys liked this content, or if you liked learning about content creation, or, you know, this whole energy behind what we talked about today, I did create a free ebook. If you have not seen it yet, I have a free ebook all about how to create your first 4 pieces of content and build your community up to 100 people in the next 30 days. So it's literally all focused on discovering your why, getting clear on who you're serving and how you're serving them, like we talked about today, deciding which platforms are really aligned for you, deciding what to talk about on your platforms and what content to create, and like walking you through that whole process of like figuring out what to share, and how often to share, and then like building your community from a place of manifesting rather than like that lack mindset of like, I want to help everybody, right? So getting clear on who you're serving for that reason, putting that intention out to the universe and allowing those people to be, you know, to be attracted into your community. And then from there, like really using this ebook for, something that can be sustainable for you over a long period of time. So every time you go back to plan, you know, your week or your month or your quarter of content, like you have step-by-step instructions of how to do it. Like I literally walk you through the whole thing. So if you have not got your hands on the ebook, the link is in my bio. It's completely free. Like I said, it's like a 12-page ebook. So I literally mapped out my whole process from start to finish of content creation and building a community. So if you're interested, that is there for you. Sarah said, working more on embodying where I want to be. This was wonderful as usual. Beautiful. I'm so glad it served you. Let me know before we hop off if you guys have any questions around this topic or around anything else before we jump off. I would love to. I have some time, so if you want me to answer some of them for you, like I said, it can be related to this. It doesn't have to be. Let me know if there's anything coming through that you're like, I need advice or guidance on this right now, or if there's something you're struggling with, or, you know. Sorry if it's kicking me off. My battery's about to die. No questions at the moment. Beautiful. Awesome. Cool. Sarah or Mary, let me know how you're doing if you have any questions. Or anything that you guys are needing in general. I know I told both of you guys this and I talked to you about this, but if there's anybody on here watching, I announced yesterday I believe it was yesterday, about the video testimonials that I'm requesting from my previous clients. So for those of you guys that are watching the replay, I almost said Mara, I'm mixing your names together. Sarah and Mary have both been clients of mine. So yeah, this is why I'm talking about this, but anybody who's watching, if you guys have been a part of my community for a really long time, or if you have been a previous client or customer of mine, I put out a thing in our Facebook community like yesterday. I'm going to be requesting or asking you guys for a favor, and I'm just asking for a short video testimonial of your experience working with me, your experience of us working together. I have guiding questions in the Facebook group, but if you're not in the Facebook group and you are a past client, I can send you guys the guiding questions, and as well as the link to upload them to our Google Drive folder. But yeah, just a short, like less than 10-minute video testimonial is what I'm asking from you guys. I need it by Monday, July 27th, so you have a couple days. But yeah, so I wanted to just kind of remind you all of that. And in exchange for that, because I obviously am not just going to ask you guys for something and then not give something in return, even though I feel like I just, anyway, I am going to be giving those of you who submit a video testimonial, I'm going to be giving you guys or gifting you guys 22% off of the new group coaching program that's going to be launching in October. I have more details to come as it gets closer, but just be on the lookout, and just know that if you submit a video testimonial, you will be getting your coupon code for that, so it'll bring it down to less than $100 a month. So I'm very excited for all of the magic that's going to be coming up in terms of us as a collective. So stay tuned, be on the lookout, check your inboxes for emails from me. Let's see. Mary said same. We are going to do a pre-record tomorrow for our podcast. I'm so excited for you. Just getting our feet wet. There are like so many of you guys in this community that are all starting podcasts at the same time. Like Joanne just started one, and I'm just like the happiest. I feel like a proud mom over here. So I'm so excited to check out all of the magic that you guys are creating, Mary. But yeah, cool. Well, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go. I love you guys. Have a beautiful evening. And I will talk to you next week in our live, okay? Feel free to reach out if you need anything. Again, if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to let them. Feel free to to tell me them below in the comments. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. I'm forever, forever grateful for each and every single one of you guys. And I will see you next week. I love you so much.